Your Royal Highness, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for attending today. It's fantastic to be back in this wonderful venue for the second UKFT Sustainability in UK Textiles conference. Like last year, the conference has been made possible by the generous support of the Textile Livery Group, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the group, the individuals who sit on it, and the livery companies involved for that support. UKFT represents all aspects of the fashion and textile industry, but today's event is focused solely on the sustainability challenges and opportunities for UK textile manufacturing. It's a vital part of the supply chain that often gets overlooked in the debate about sustainable fashion. Now, we recognise that everyone is on their own sustainability journey. There's no one size that fits all. What's right for one company won't be right for another. But when we leave this evening, I very much hope that you'll have a better view of what others in our industry are working on, what is on the horizon for the years ahead, and the challenges and opportunities that this will bring, as well as some practical steps that you can take and apply to your businesses. Now, hopefully you've had a chance to see the displays at the top of the stairs that are talking around some of the activity that UKFT is conducting under the Circular Fashion Programme that was launched by the UK Research and Investment last year. And I want to talk very briefly about some of those projects. The first is a collaboration with over 20 partners looking at tackling the huge environmental challenge of finding a new use of the 200,000 tonnes of textile waste that goes into landfill in the UK every year. The ambition of the Automatic Sorting for Circular Textiles Demonstrator, or ACT UK, is to change the concept of waste, and specifically to turn non-recyclable textiles into a valuable resource. As most of you will know, the technology exists to turn that waste back into fibre. Chemical, mechanical, and biological textile recycling solutions are growing rapidly. But what is needed is the right collection and sorting infrastructure that would allow all that waste to be captured and processed back into fibre. And that's what the ACT UK project is trying to do, to develop a highly automated and technologically advanced system that will create the right feedstock to help drive the rapid scale-up of fibre-to-fibre recycling. And with a new feedstock of recycled raw materials and a rapidly growing demand for circular product, there is a huge opportunity to see a very real growth in UK manufactured yarn and fabric that's produced from fully recycled, fully traceable fibre. Another project that we're involved with is exploring how a potential UK extended producer responsibility scheme for textiles could incentivise circular economy principles across the supply chain. And we're also part of the Network Plus programme of university-led research aiming to embed environmental science across all aspects of sustainability. And the last project I want to mention today is the cooperation between UKFT and our sister organisation, the British Fashion Council. And it's called the Circular Fashion Innovation Network. The network will play a central convening role in UKRI's Circular Fashion Programme. And SIFIN is the first industry-led programme of this kind supported by UK Research and Investment. And it aims to establish a 10-year industrial transformation programme to help the entire industry move to a more environmentally sustainable and economically viable future. By combining knowledge and networks across the industry, SIFIN are going to be looking at 6 key pillars. Circular business models, looking to reduce waste and overproduction of clothing, establishing a national textile recycling infrastructure, growing sustainable manufacturing here in the UK by harnessing technology and innovation, growing a diverse and future-proof workforce, scaling up and integrating novel technologies that will support circular fashion, and finally, we will focus on green growth, creating economically viable circular products, services, and IP to generate high-value jobs and support growth through responsible design, retail, and manufacturing. Through all our involvement in these projects, UKFT hopes to create opportunities for UK manufacturers to increase value and margin and to achieve a meaningful growth in the reshoring of manufacturing here in the UK. But back to today. As you know, this conference is aimed specifically at the UK textile manufacturing industry, and the theme of the day is sustainability in action. UKFT recently surveyed 100 of our textile manufacturers to find out more about the sector's sustainability challenges, and I'd like to share with you now some of the findings from that survey, as they clearly show both the sector's commitment and ambition, but also the challenging and complex sustainability landscape that they are having to navigate. We first asked our members why they were looking at sustainability, and it was very encouraging to see that just over half were doing so to meet their own internal environmental aspirations. Just over a quarter said they were doing so to meet the demands of their customers, 9% because they were meeting legislation, and interestingly, and perhaps very honestly, 9% of respondents said they were tackling sustainability as it gave them a marketing or business opportunity. We then asked them what they were doing to tackle environmental challenges. 67% said they had a sustainability strategy, 85% had a corporate social responsibility strategy, and 70% had ESG governance in place. And we then asked them what areas of the business they were looking at and what sorts of standards they were using. And 79% of respondents said they were using standards and frameworks to manage chemical usage, 73% to manage raw materials, and 63% used a manufacturing standard. And overall, 43% of the respondents had signed up to voluntary agreements. But then we then asked the companies about the individual sustainability frameworks or certification that they were using or they were being asked to meet by their customers. And this next slide demonstrates very clearly the hugely complex landscape that UK textile manufacturers are having to face. 100 companies between them are trying to meet 50 sustainability frameworks. But crucially, only 40% of the respondents said they had any internal expertise when it came to sustainability. And that last slide provides a fantastic backdrop for today's conference. As I said, the theme of the conference is sustainability in action, and our speakers will be talking to you about how they set their sustainability strategies, the actions they've taken to increase production efficiencies, the journeys they've undertaken to achieve a range of environmental certifications. One of the challenges that isn't often mentioned when it comes to sustainability in our sector is it is much easier to commentate and to criticise than it is to actually do. Moving to a more sustainable future will take time, and delivering change is hard, especially when everyone has to keep the looms running, the teams employed, the product moving. So I'm extremely grateful to all of our speakers today for being prepared to share their knowledge and experience with us today.